A motion for civil contempt has been filed against you? Wow, that is serious business. The civil contempt motion, according to Florida law and according to the Florida Family Law Rules of Procedure, must provide the following language: failure to appear at the hearing may result in the court issuing a writ of bodily attachment for your arrest. You may be held in jail up to 48 hours. This notice must also state various other things for purposes of notice and due process. If the court makes factual findings that the alleged contemnor, in other words, person to be held in contempt, had both notice and the opportunity to be heard, the court will determine whether or not a certain amount of money is paid. This specifically is important when child support is at work, when somebody has failed to pay child support and they have failed to pay on a repeated basis and for an extended period of time. One way to cure this is person owes child support. They fail to pay. They receive a letter alleging that they might be held in contempt and might have to serve jail time through incarceration. What happens is right before hearing, the person will pay something that we call a purge amount. A purge amount is essentially to show the Department of Revenue that you are paying, that you're making best efforts to pay, and therefore you shouldn't be held in contempt. Hearing should be canceled. Speaking of that purge amount, if a hearing is to be held, and if a litigant, a contemnor, a potential contemnor, is going to be held in contempt, most likely, they want to get out of that situation and avoid a suspension of their license if it has not yet occurred, avoid incarceration if it has not yet occurred. The court may order a purge amount. And this is not Purge like the films The Purge, where everybody goes wild in the streets and there's 24 hours of total anarchy and everyone closes their door and says their prayers and hopes to avoid trouble. This is a purge amount, as in you are saying, this is the amount I have to pay as a person potentially held in contempt or held in contempt. This is the amount I have to pay to prevent incarceration. If the alleged contemnor owes, let's say, $20,000 in past due child support and makes $30,000 a year, a very modest salary, the court might order that person to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, for example. If a person makes a million or more dollars a year, let's say they are a professional athlete or a physician, and that person still is not paying or is avoid paying support, the court might order a purge amount 50, $100,000, more. It is based upon a sort of sliding scale. While there is none officially published, I'm sure that each hearing officer has their own ability to decide what a coercive fine or coercive sanction might actually mean in real terms. Now, if somebody ends up in jail, and they have to pay a purge amount, how in the world do they access their funds? Generally, though not always, this is done through a durable power of attorney or through so it would award a family member the opportunity to manage that person's finances or make a payment on their behalf. Which means if you do not have family in the area, you might sit in jail for a long time while this situation is resolved until the court holds a hearing a few days later, a few weeks later, however it works, and determines your ability to pay a purge amount. And then you swear essentially under oath and as part of a court order commanding you to make that payment. Now, is this fair? Is this something that should be allowable? Is this something that should be sanctioned? Well, that's a really good question. It does seem like it's awfully punitive, but so is not paying child support to the other parent, who may at that point in time be a single parent. That child is now an at risk child. That child may not have enough money to have a roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their back, and the alleged contemnor's failure to pay or alleged failure to pay could have severe life consequences for a minor child under the age of 18. And what other enforcement mechanisms are there? You either make your payments or your license gets suspended and then you get arrested. These are the sanctions imposed by the state of Florida Department of Revenue.